Hello, and welcome to Code with NM. In today's video, we will be seeing the most important Python project ever. Before starting or jumping into any topic, any code, anything about today's session, I just want to ask you if you have any doubt regarding any previous live video. Let's clear that first. I'm very much excited for today's live because this is the ultimate backend project. This is what you are actually will be doing on your job as a Python backend engineer. So let's wait for a few seconds. Let me see if any one of you has any doubt. Let's wait and watch in the comment section, and then we will be jumping on today's topic. And mind it, this project, if you understand it thoroughly, then you can call yourself a Python backend developer. And this project is not on a junior level, it is on a intermediate senior level. So if you understand this, you already nailed your job as an intern, as a junior backend Python engineer. That's why I'm very much excited, because all the code, everything, the understanding, the topics, each and every thing to this live is very much important, because this is the actual day-to-day life, a day-to-day job of a Python backend developer. Okay, let's get started. So before starting it, I just want to clear two things. First thing first, this live is divided into two parts. This complete project is divided into two parts. I'm not gonna explain everything in this live, or else it will go bouncer, or else about your head. So simple. In this live, I will be explaining you what is this project, what is the name of the project, what are the tool sets I have used, why this concept has been used, what is the importance of this concept, the detailed level of explanation of entire backend application. Understood? The second live will be all coding part and everything. So up till now everything is clear, and I will be in this live I will be going slow, because explanation and understanding the concept is much more important. And mind it, in this live the project is very much important, the concept is very much important. Okay, then let's start with the project itself, and how I will be proceeding in this live. In every live I didn't told you about the roadmap of the live itself, that what is the to-do list of the live, but this is important, that's why I'm breaking down it. So first I will be demonstrating the project, what we are going to build. So we will be seeing the output through the Postman, because as a backend engineer we will be creating APIs, and we will be using and testing those APIs in Postman. So we will be seeing each and every APIs, and mind it, there are much more things. Now the things will be difficult and complicated if you are not aware of how real world APIs actually works. Okay, the second thing, we will be understanding the architecture of this complete project. Third things, one by one, step by step, line by line, word by word, we will be understanding the concept used in this project, the libraries used in this project. Okay, and then we will be understanding few journal terminologies used in real world Okay, this was the complete to-do list of this life. So let's jump on to the Postman and let's see what we are going to create. So I've already have my code setup and everything running behind the scene, and let me just quickly launch my Postman and let's trigger one by one API. So before that, one thing also, I've already shown you how to use Postman, but I never told you how we can have everything sorted in Postman. So we will be also seeing that. So this is my Postman, and hope my screen is visible. Let me try to zoom in a bit. So now I think it is visible. So first thing first, I have named the backend project as WorkSphere. So before jumping into the Postman, what is WorkSphere and why I name it? Okay, what is this project is all about? Let's understand it first. So this project is nothing but each and every company, either it can be a startup or it's a small company or MNCs. Each and every IT company, not just IT company, any company which are company within employees use this backend software. Not exactly this, but they might have their own use cases and the uh, modification according to their use cases, but the base is this only, and this is not an basic application, this is complete end-to-end application. Also, if you understand it, you can you create it, you can sell it, renaming and package and everything, doing the packaging work and everything. Okay, so this is that level of backend project. So yes, visible. Okay, yeah, thank you for the confirmation. So I've named it as WorkSphere. What is WorkSphere is all about? It's nothing but let's understand this. Once a company hire an employee, either it can be an HR, either it can be a software engineer or manager or admin department. There are various departments in any of the company. So how this process works, how their details are being created in the DB. Okay, this is what where the systems comes into the picture, where the APIs comes into the picture. So how it done? There is an admin who creates your user ID. For example, you got selected in one of the company, you were trying and applying from months, and now you got a chance, you given an interview, you cleared every round and you got placed. Now what will the scenario in behind the scene in the system? So there will be an admin and there will of course there will be an HR. So either of the one, admin or HR, will create your user ID, user ID with your password and your name and email and xyz, because you can't use your personal email and company. For example, if you're working for a Microsoft, so your username at the rate Microsoft, so this is .com xyz, the depending on the company you're working it, the alias of your email will be the company's name and .com. Okay, that is known as a business domain. So this type of detail will be need to created for yourself in the system. So us as a software engineer, if I'm getting hired by one of the company, I don't handle this all. This is been and already from years and years is being handled with the help of HR or admin in the organization. So how they handle this? So now we have system, we have very smart system. So what they will do, they have a beautiful UI. They will enter your name and your joining date and email and other your age and status of if you are married or not, marital status and phone number and etc xyz, everything they will enter it and they will create your user ID with a password. Then they will share this credential to you. So this is that project I have created in each and every company. Do you believe or not, this type of system is there or not? First thing first, is this type of system is required in each and every MNC? Yes or no? Of course, if you're thinking, the answer is yes. Each and every company is now depend on this type of system. They require this type of system. They can't do manual work. They can't just have your name, your email ID, your each and everything manually. They have their own system which is mapped with another system and everything, and they take your credentials from you like all the documents you submit to the HR through mail while time of joining or into the company's reception, all the physical document you submit, and with the help of those document and with the help of this already created system, they create your DB itself, your database itself. Okay, so this is that level of project, and this project is required and must to have in each and every organization, not just in field of information technology or computer science. Okay, so let's see how and what APIs I have created and how we are achieving this, the real world scenario, how we are dealing with that with the help of APIs, with the help of backend engineering. So this is the Postman. Of course, you are already aware of the Postman. I have named my project as WorkSphere. You can name whatever you want. So how to create this? This is known as collection. This is known as collection. To create collection, first make sure you have already logged in into Postman. How to log in into the Postman? You need to create your Postman ID with the help of your Google account, Gmail account. So once you create it, you will be able to create a workspace. Now, collection. So here you need to click on new, and you can see the workspace or else collection. So I'm working with the collections, and you can click on collection. If you hover it, you can know about the what is it's all about. So click on collection, then see here it's added the new collection, and then you can see the 3 dot view more action. Click on it and you can rename your collection whatever you want, for example X, Y, Z, and whatever you want. So I'm not doing it right away because I've already created my worksphere. So let me delete it, the XYZ. Okay, now let me expand this, and you can see there are multiple API calls I have created, and it's also show what type of call means post, get, put, delete I have created. So in previous live I've showed you how to use Postman. Of course, we have already used it in previous 2 lives, but I've never show you how you can create your own collection. Why this is required? In MNCs we work on multiple projects. So this worksphere, and let's take an example. Worksphere is one of the project. If you are working on a Microsoft Teams, third you are working on a Google Gmail, so they will have a set of their own APIs, and we can create as many as collection we want. Okay, depending on the requirement. So if you started working on worksphere, then after a month you were transferred to the Gmail. Now you are working on the Gmail, so just open the Gmail collection and you will have all sort of your APIs. Now how we can save this APIs? So first thing first, you see create new request, click on that, and depending on what type of call it is, so let's say it is a get call, and for example I've already have few APIs created. So let me take an example of this, and here if you see my mouse hovering, so click on this and you can say it's your sake I'm creating, so I'm saying it testing, and just from your keyboard hit Control S, and it will ask save request, and the request name is testing. If you want to add description to your APIs, you can add it, and it says save to code with an M workspace, inside it WorkSphere. This is the name of my project. Okay, and just hit save, and you can see the testing which I have created just now is under WorkSphere. Just close this and it is resting inside this. Okay, if you want to delete it, here is a 3 dot, click on it and delete, and just click on delete. Understood? So this is how you use Postman. This is the actually in real life, in job, or if you are working on a project, real life project, if you're doing a freelancing, this is how you need to work with the Postman. We create multiple collections, and you can have all the collections inside workspace. This is code within a workspace. I can create more than one workspace also. I can create more than one collections also. Understood? So now let's jump onto the WorkSphere and how WorkSphere is created. I've created WorkSphere into multiple parts. First thing first, I want to register one user. So it is divided into user and employees. It is divided into users and employees. So first thing first, what are users? Users can be admin. Users, this is the role they have. Users can have a role of admin. Users can have a role of HR, or user can be an employee. Simple. So we as a software engineer will be an employee, because we in organization we don't handle creating an employee or getting the current user and everything, but we are the one who created this API. Okay, understood this? We are the one who created this API, but we are not the one who will use it. For example, if you are working on some of the project, so we will be creating n numbers of APIs or front end or back end and whatsoever, but we are not the end user of it. Okay, so let's jump into the first API call, which is post register. So this is the API, HTTP, and the listening port is 127.0.0.1 and port is 8000, and this is how in real world you create your APIs. It's not slash register, it's not like slash user, it's not like slash student. It should be like slash API slash v1. What is v1? V1 is the version 1 of this. If in going further there will be much more changes, or there will be feature engineering, we will be adding more feature to it, then the one will be the stable version, and we will be adding those things, and then launching v2 will be the version 2. So like it is in Android or in Apple or in any application you use, it have different types of version. Same with the APIs, we work with the versions in APIs too. Okay, and what is auth is authentication. I will be talking about the authentication in this live later on. So that's why I've named this, because this the register, for example, register is creating your Gmail. Register means creating your Gmail. So that's why this comes under the auth, and this is how logically you should create your APIs. It should slash API slash v1 slash auth slash register, and I will be going deep in each and everything. Don't think that I'm jumping over to the topic. I'm just demonstrating you what we are going to create in this live and in next live. Okay, which backend best to learn? I am new. Python. It's not about the backend, it's about the programming language, because with the help of programming language we achieve all this. So the easiest programming language in the world, and I think in future also, in past also, will be Python only. So learn Python. After learning Python, if you want to be a backend engineer, you can be a backend engineer. If you want to be a data analyst, data science, ML, AI, and much more. So Python is the easiest programming language out there. And the viewers who are watching me live, or else the viewer who will be watching me offline, when this video will be offline, tell me what is the toughest or most difficult programming language in the world. Yeah, you can learn that also, but then you need to learn PHP and other stuffs. But the easiest one is the Python, and Python is the most demanding one also. That's why I'm saying Python. So it is most easy, most demanding. And of course, if you, after a certain point, for an example, I worked as a backend engineer for 3 years, then I jump into front end. I worked for 2.5 years as a front end engineer, then I jump to the full stack. So working in a same domain gets boring after some period of time. So you want to experiment with your career also, career path. So you jump from backend to front end, or front end to backend to full stack. Then most people now jumping into the data science and ML. So Python is most reliable one, because if you know Python, you can jump into multiple domains in software engineering. You're currently learning Flutter. Why Flutter? For what Flutter is used? First thing first, Flutter is used to design mobile application. Yes. Can you design a website using Flutter? Yes or no? C language is most typical. It's debatable, but most difficult is not C. Most typical, yes, you can say C language is most typical, but most I was asking about most difficult, and it's not C. C is not most difficult. You can learn C in 1 month if you're smart. If not, in 2 months if you're a learner, if you're a beginner. Okay, so let's hit this. I've already had the body. I'm creating an admin, so I seeing Alice admin, and this is the email of Alice at the rate workspear. In your case, it can be Microsoft, it can be IBM, it can be Google at the rate google.com will be your email, your name, and at the rate, this was the business domain I was talking about. Okay, password, I'm setting the password for Alice admin is strong pass1, and this is just for example, don't set this type of password. Okay, and role, the role I've talked about, Alice will be admin, that's why the name of Alice is Alice admin. And let's hit on send and let's see what happened. I hit on send and it says conflict, because in DB I was testing in DB, I've already have Alice. Let me delete it from the DB itself first. So you already know it is handling, the error handling is there of the APIs. Error handling is there. It says false message, a user with this email already exists, means you can't create a user with the same email. So okay, now I've deleted it. Let's resend it again. And what it will do, it will create Alice admin with the email, with the role and the date and the time when Alice admin is created, and of course this is the MongoDB ID. Okay, so register has been done. Now after register, what you do? For example, what is register over here? Register is nothing but signing up. You signed up for your Gmail account. Now you do login. So let's jump onto the post login, which is the second API call, and I come over here. See, it says login, and now everything is same, just the last part from slash register, it says slash login, and for logging in we need to pass the ID, which is Gmail ID, which is email ID in our case, which is alice@workspear.com, and the password. So let's come to the body and we need to pass it as raw in a JSON. So this is the email and the password was strong pass1, and let's hit it. Here you will see something else. I am not directly logging in. I've sent it and you can see this is an access token. The token type is bearer, means our API call has generated a bearer token, and this token will expire in next 60 minutes. So what we need to do with this token? First thing first, we need to copy this token. I've copied it. I will be explaining you everything. This is the just a demo what we are going to create. So I've copied this access token, and now from now onwards, whatever API call from after login, from this, out of this all, I'm highlighting with my mouse, all this API will require this access token, or else no API will be running successfully. So let's create an employee. Why? Because the Alice was the admin. Now we have an admin. Now admin can create employees. So let's click on create employees, and how to pass the token and everything I will be showing you. So this is a bearer token. Let me remove the old one, pass the new one. I will be explaining you each and everything in detail, and already I have body set for the employee. My employee name is John, the last name is Smith, the email for John Smith is john.smith@workspear.com, the phone number of John, the department is engineering, of course, because he is an backend developer, and salary is 95,000. You can consider it in dollars. Thank you and welcome to Code with NM family. Logesh. And joining date is, so let's change the joining date. Today is 2026. It's July month, and today's date is nothing but, what is today's date? 15. Okay, we should learn in chill way. It's okay. Let's send this data, and this data is nothing but a employee data. We are creating an employee, and we have also passed the bearer token which we have generated while time of logging in. So let's send it, and you can see 201 created, and we have passed only few data, but you can see in DB it created its ID. Second, it's employee ID. Of course, when you join any organization, you will have your own employee ID, and that is used everything regarding you. For example, if you want your salary slip, you need to just give your employee ID. This is one of the example. And first name, last name, email, phone number, department, and this all we have already passed. The salary, of course, the joining date, and it says is active, means this employee is still working in this organization. Okay, and we have also the profile image. Why I have done this profile image? Because I want to demonstrate that not only with the textual data we are working with the APIs, but our APIs can also handle the other data, binary data. What is binary data? The video is the binary data. Your image, PNG, JPG, other types of image can be also handled with the help of APIs. And how image or binary data will be stored in DB and everything, each and every code I will be explaining you. Just bear with me. Okay, created at this and updated at this, the timing, and this all data we have generated from our backend code. Okay, this is done. So you understand this, the user have been created, means emp 001 employee has been created. Let's get the current users. So here let me make some mistake. That mistake is we have generated new access token, and this one I have old access token, means bearer token. And let me hit this API get auth me, which will bring all the new users I have created. And see, it says 401 unauthorized, success is false, message is access token has expired, please log in again. That access token has already been expired, means 60 minutes has been passed for that access token, and we need to use this new access token for this call. So let me go to the get call, authorization, auth type is bearer token. Let me remove this, have my new access token. Now if I hit, it will bring all the users, but in our case we have only one user right now, which is Alice admin. Okay, and this Alice has admin role. Now if you are confused that uh, Alice is a user but why employee is not a user, so I will be explaining you when I will be jumping onto the architecture. Okay, so get current user means all the users. For example, admin is a user, HR will be user, so all that user. Okay, let's jump onto the next API, which is list slash search employees, and this API is huge. If you see 127.0.018,000 simple API slash v1 employee question mark. Now I will be explaining you what is question mark. Department equals to engineering, ampersand means and, sort by salary and sort by. So if you know any of the database, how database works, how SQL works, or how MongoDB works, then you will be knowing what I'm passing here. But if not, I will be explaining this to you all. So let me quickly grab my new access token from here and then change the old one, or else we will get the same error again. Let's pass it, let's hit it, because this is a get call, we don't need to provide body. So see here, what we are getting is total is 1, page is 1, limit is 10, means page limit, and total page is 1, means right now we have only one page and one employee, only one employee, and that is coming with its ID and the employee and the other details. I don't want to reiterate myself going with the details. So why this is important, why this API is important, why I have created it. This API is important if you're working with the UI. When in UI, if there is a dashboard or there is an how many employees are working with me or employees are working with me. So if that web page must have a limit, so the limit is 10 employee per page. So just imagine you have a card system. What is a card on UI? It will show the employee image, the name and the role and the joining date. This is the card info in UI, the UI developer is displaying. And from this API, if you are passing 100 or 200 or 300 data of an employee, and each and every data is trying to load on the web page itself, then it will be a it will be a good UI or a bad UI. it will be a very bad UI because each and every data is unreadable. So what a UI developer will do, UI developer will try to add pagination. There is a concept of pagination in React and Angular itself, and same concept is also there in backend. If the backend API allows the pagination, for example page 1, and the page 1 has only 10 employee limit, means on the page 1 it will give you only 10 employees. So this API will be directly utilized in the front end in React or Angular or HTML, JSS, CSS. So there it will only display 10 cards of the employees. That's why this is important, and how I've created in everything I will be explaining you later on. So let's get, if we are only interested in the one employee, so we need to get that employee ID. So let me change this token first, and we need to pass the employee ID. So let's get this employee ID, and we need to pass it in the API itself, and let's hit send, and you can see that particular ID brings the associated employee. Okay, if we want to update a particular employee, so let me again grab the token. This token is very much important now. If you are seeing this demo, you got it because each and every time this token is required. And how I generated this token, I just pass the email ID and password, then the bearer token comes. Why it is important, and what is this, what is bearer token, how I have just generated this token from the backend, everything I will be explaining to you all. Okay, and let's come to the body, and I'm interested in updating the salary. For example, you worked for an organization for 5 years or more than 5 years. Initially you were a backend developer, your salary was $95,000. Now your salary is 110 1,10,000. In India we read the numbers in lakhs, and in outside India I know you all read the number in hundred and thousands. Okay, so it's understand in that way, it's 1,10,000, and he got a promotion from backend developer to senior backend developer, and let's hit send, and so it says employee not found. Why? Because I haven't changed the ID. So this is 404, employee not found. Let's grab that particular ID, and this was the ID. Let me grab that, come to my put call, change the ID. Now if I send it, you can see, let me jump on to my previous call, get call. Here if you see, it says 95,000 backend developer, and after update now it says senior backend developer, and the salary has been. Okay, let's now upload the profile image that's I was talking about. So here again I need to update the ID itself, and now I'm getting too much this is too much clutter over here. So let me close the few things from here that we have already seen, and it's asking save the changes. What changes we have done? We have updated the access token. That's why it is asking if you want to save it, or if you don't want to save it. But I want to save it because it has the access token. So before closing any of the tab here, this is known as tab in Postman, same as in browser. So make sure you save it if required. Okay, so I just want to do it to remove the clutterness and nothing else. Okay, now from here I will get the ID and jump on to my post call and update the ID. The API call is nothing but v1 employee slash employee ID slash profile image, and let's also grab our access token from here and just come here, update our access token, and here in body, now this is something new. You have worked with raw data, passed JSON data, JSON formatted data, but here now we are passing form data because I'm interested in file, and here you can click, you will have text of file. So I'm interested in file. I've already have attached my image png. How you can do it, just click on this and add a local file from a local system, and you can see this was the file I've already added. Okay, double click or click on it and click on open. That's it. Okay, now I'm passing this, I'm hitting on send, and here it says false, validation fail for one or more fields. What field validation fails? This is the field the validation fails, means file, and message says field required. So this is the required field. Click on file. Let's do it again and click on this. Let's open my image. Of course, I also pass the bearer token. Done. Profile image. Let's hit send, and now it is success. So now if you see, this has been added, profile image. It was not there before. If I come to update employee, my previous call, it was null. Now we have given employee ID to the image. EMP001 was the employee ID, and an arbitrary value, alphanumeric value, and the type of my image was PNG. You can see the PNG image over here. Done. Up till here it is, the demonstration is going smooth. I think you are getting it, what we are creating. Okay, now if you have any query or doubt, if I was in your place, I was the one who raised my hand in, if I was in college or in classes or anything else in any institute, and I would like to ask my sir, okay sir, please demonstrate me that image, means make a get call to that image if we have a that type of get call, because now we have a get call to with a specific ID, we can get the employee details. Yes, we have already seen this in this example, but I want to see that PNG image should load in my Postman. I want to see that image. Okay, so we can do that. To do it, just click on this, and to get an image, it should be a get call. And let's see, let's have this profile image, and we need to have, just a second, we need to have this name EMP001 PNG. We need to have it. Let's come on to our get call first, remove everything from here, and this is not required, and it is residing in uploads. Okay, this is the API. I will be explaining it to you all, and I'm hitting get. Let's hit it, and it says not found. Okay, okay, let me come here, copy it again. The API is correct, or else let me check the upload one. Yeah, it is fine, and we don't require this all. Perfect, 1/, and now let's hit it, and you will see my image, that PNG is now loading in the Postman itself. Okay, this is how you can check that this image in a PNG format, which is nothing but a binary format of the file, and this we are getting from the MongoDB itself, because this FastAPI is being connected with the MongoDB behind the scene. And if you want to see that, I will open my MongoDB in front of you. On the screen you can see senior backend developer, the salary, and is active true, and this is the image ID itself, and John Smith is the name. This is the employees DB, and the user DB, you can see the email, the password. Now this is how in real world the password has been stored. This is a hash password. Nobody can see your password behind the scene in the real world. For example, your password set for the Facebook or Instagram or a Gmail, so it is stored as hashed password, and I will be explaining to you all what is hash password is all about. Okay, so let's jump on to the last API call, which is nothing but delete, and we are going to delete that particular id. So let me get this id, click here, let's paste it, let's hit delete, and again I forgot to pass the token, new access token, bearer token. So let me come here, authorization. So this is a well error hand. We have a very best working error handling scenario. We have fantastically handle all the errors. That's why it's directly say us what is missing, what is there, what is not. And now I have successfully deleted this. But in real world, because this is a real world project, so in real, your data never in the life they delete your data. I don't want to name the companies, but they never delete your data. They just set you as inactive. Means it was first, it says is active was true, now you are inactive user for them. That's it. Your data will be there with them for infinite time. Okay, so this is the complete demonstration of worksphere, and this is what we are going to create in this life and in next life. Why I'm dividing this project into two parts? Because yes, first we need to understand what we are creating. So I have demonstrated you, and I think you have got a rough idea, at least 50% of idea what we are going to create. And then understanding what is bearer token, why the password is hash, how the password is hash, what I have used, all the tech stacks and everything I have used in this project. You need to understand this in this life, and then the coding part. So coding part is there, of course, and that I will be showing you into the second life. So up till now, if everything is clear and you got a rough idea, at least 50%, give me a thumbs up in the live chat so I can proceed with the architecture. I'm purposely going slow. I'm purposely teaching very slow because I want you to learn and understand what we are creating. Because this type of project in your GitHub, in your resume, will have a way more weightage comparing to other students or learner or people applying for the same backend job. Okay, this type of project, and if you demonstrate this type of project in interview in round 1 only, you will get selected. No need of jumping to the round 2 and round 3. They will see your coding skills, your knowledge, your command on your hands-on knowledge on Python, your control and command on Python itself, because this all we are going to achieve with Python. Okay, now let's jump on to the architecture part, because that is also important. We have seen what is this project is all about now, and also I have created the admin here. We can also create the HR one. The role will be switched to HR, and Alice HR or other name like Nilesh HR, and this will be changed. Okay. So why I've created admin, HR and employee, I will be explaining you that. Okay, let's jump on to the architecture part now. Okay, for architecture, I have created one simple image for you to get it, that what is the flow and what are the file structures and everything. So let me open that quickly. Okay, this is, let me, okay. Hope this is visible, and this is the complete architecture. It's it seems like very simple, but in terms of the concept and understanding, it is not that simple. Okay, so first thing first, client is the one who will be utilizing or using our APIs, and they will be using our APIs with the help of Postman or Swagger UI or browser, nothing but with the help of front end and inside the React or Angular. Okay, so those who will be utilizing our APIs known as client. This is clear. Okay. The second thing is routes. Second thing is routes or routers. So like we have routes slash app slash v1 slash, in my previous life it was slash students or slash user. So that slash, known as slash anything, means student, user. In our case it was slash app slash v1 slash auth slash register or slash login. It's known as routers, and inside router you can see auth.py. This file will be there, and employees.py file will be there. I will be showing you all the codes and everything later on. Just understand the architecture. Okay. And here itself only we will have one middleware integrated. Why? Because this middleware will be wrapped around each and every file and each and every steps, because any mistakes we made while time of hitting those API, we are not passing the bearer token, we are not passing the body. If we are if it is a get call, we are doing a post call. If it is a put call, we are doing a get call. If we are doing a mistakes in a call also, the middleware should handle our errors, and also doing the logging, request logging. Now what is logging? Logging is most important thing when backend comes, when API comes into the picture. What is logging? Logging means logging each and everything. Means the user hit a get call, they pass a bearer token, and then this type of response our API has given. Each and every step, at what time, from which user, admin was the user or HR was the user to make that get call. Each and every record get logs into the system is known as logging. And that's why this is important. For example, you have created a few APIs, and 10 MNCs are using your APIs. Okay, and something went wrong, something failed on their end because of your API. Then how you will debug it and fix their issue? That's why logging is important. Understood? This is the simplest example I can give. Okay, coming back to the utils. In utils, this is the utility, the full form of utils, and I've used JWT, I've used RBAC or RBAC, I use Bcrypt for hashing. This all I will be explaining you in this live only. You already saw the bearer token that was generated with the help of JWT. What is JWT? What is RBAC or RBAC or Bcrypt, and what is the hashing and what are the hashing techniques? I have already shown you the password store in the DB is hashed itself. Okay. The next thing is the model. So model is user model.py. I will be explaining what is model and everything. Just understand the flow. And employee model itself means this model holds all the codes and everything, that how user is been create, what role for that user is HR or admin, and email and other things. Same for the employee salary, name, email ID, employee ID, XYZ. We have already seen those examples. That is coming from this model file. Okay. The last is nothing but our MongoDB, means nothing but our DB itself. So in DB we have two collections. So let me show you my DB first, so you will get it. I hope this is visible. You can see workspear underscore DB. This is my database name. Inside database I have created two collections. Okay, so we can create two collections or n numbers of collection. We just need to hit on this plus and it will ask collection name. Okay, so I have created employees collection and user collection. What user collection hold? You can see user collection hold name, email, hash, password, role of the user itself. User can be admin or HR, and employees data is being stored inside the employees collection. Understood? So DB, an employee and user is collection in MongoDB. In SQL or MySQL, this is known as schemas there, in short tables. Okay, and the DB will be same there also. So you should have one DB. Inside one DB you can have n numbers of tables, n numbers of schema, and in MongoDB n numbers of collections. Hope up till now it is clear. Okay, so this is the architecture of the complete project. Now in real world, we don't just start discuss an idea and jump onto that idea and start coding the files and everything. This is must. So how it works, like you will get an iTrack, a feature iTrack. Inside that iTrack there will be 10 items, 5 items, what needs to be done, what needs to be created. With the help of that iTrack, you need to do R&D, means research and development. First you will do research. After researching what tech stack we will use, what, for example, in my case I've used JWT, Bcrypt and everything. This all I will be creating one document, and that document I will be sitting with my engineering manager. Why I'm saying engineering manager, there are other managers too. So we are, as an engineer, we sit with engineering manager, which is nothing but a reporting manager. I will sitting with my engineering manager, also director, and project or product manager, depending on the company what name they have. Basically majority company has project manager. We will be sitting there and with the entire team. Might it can be team of 60, 15, 10 or 100 plus. And there you will be demonstrating that, okay, this is the architecture for the new feature. We will have client, we will have routers, what file routers have, utils, and this all the utils we will be utilizing. Then they will be bombarding you question why you use that, if this happened, that happened, if hacker tried to attack you, what are the security measures as a backend engineer you have took, what are the securities you have took or applied on your APIs, and then what is model, what is the DB, how the collection is been distributed, what are the attributes of the collection. This type of questions you will be already documenting in your document, or they will be throwing this type of questions, and then again after few days or few weeks you come with all the answers, and then you start development. From R&D you first do research, and after all the discussion and everyone is okay, they give a green signal that we are satisfied and this is the we are going into the right direction. All 60 or 100 or 10 or 15 people, 15 engineers, developer, including directors, project managers and managers, they all agreeing and give you a green flag. So then you alone or with the team of 10 or 15 or whatever, depending on the position you are, start the development of that project. So this I shared the industry level experience with you all. So why architecture is important, now you got it. Understood up till now? Give me a thumbs up, or else if any doubt here you can also ask me in the live chat. Okay, thank you. But it's okay in Excel or in other things we call this as a flow chart, but ultimately is the architectural flow of our backend application. Okay, if this is clear, let's jump on to the next topic, which is nothing but authentication. So what is authentication? What is authentication? Let's discuss about this. There are two things, authentication and authorization. So let me know in the chat who already knows about authentication and authorization. And this, I think now in the smart world, everyone is now smart enough. So I think you all know a basic definition of authentication. If not, you're already aware of what this authentication is all about. Let me see who answers this. Let me open the live chat also. Okay, authentication. Authentication is nothing but it's to give you access to a protected resources. For example, I've created my website, which is nothing but code with NM, and you are registering yourself, and then you are logging it. So authentication is nothing but I'm giving you, if you are a valid user, legit user, once you fill up the register form, then I'm giving you the authentication to access my website and my resources. Understood? What is authentication? It's nothing but, and in case authentication doesn't only apply on humans like a user. We are user for a entire application or a system, but authentication is also valid on a system itself. One system trying to connect with other system, one device trying to connect with other device. So that time also we use authentication concept, and authentication is nothing but to provide an access to a user, to device, to a system, to get access to the protected resources. Hope this definition is clear. Now, what is authorization? What is authorization? If you know what is authentication, you can answer authorization. This is also simple. If you got what is authentication, now you can answer what is authorization itself. Okay, I will give you an example. What is authorization? So I'm authorizing you to create your user or create new user, but I'm not authorizing you to delete that specific user. Okay, so I'm authorizing you can download 5 resources from my website, 5 project from my website, but there is one project I don't want you to download, so I won't give you the permission. That permission is known as authorization. Understood? You are not authorized to do it. So now what is the difference between authorization and authentication? Simple. Authentication is simply nothing but who you are, and authorization is nothing but what you can do. Understood? Understood? Authentication verifies who you are, a legit user or not, and authorization is nothing but what you can do on my website. You can log in, you can chat with others, you can share your resources or download my resources, but I have not authorized you to delete any of the user or update any of the user data from my website. You are not authorized to do it. Understood? So this was the authentication and authorization and difference between them. Okay, now let's jump on to hashing, because that is the one of the most important topic in today's life, how the password got hashed and saved in the DB. So we already know how data is saved in the DB, but how it was hashed before saving it. So before understanding what is hashing, we need to understand what is Bcrypt, because I have used that library. Okay, so let me open one website and we will be seeing demo on that particular website. And now let's jump onto Bcrypt. So what is Bcrypt? So in real world, you can't save password as a plain text. What is plain text? MongoDB. Here in the screen, you can see MongoDB. This is plain text. Model, this is plain text. User underscore model is plain text. We can't save password in real world in database as a plain text because it is easily hackable, or the password can be leaked. It can be easily leaked. So we save in a particular format, and that format you already know is hashed. So now what is hashed? Hashing is one way of encryption. It's nothing like completely encryption. Why? Because let me explain you what is encryption and decryption. If you encrypt something, you can also, if you know the proper level of encryption, what we have used to encrypt that particular thing, if you know that thing, you can decrypt also. For example, I have used 123. This is an example. There is no such type of encryption. So for encryption, I have used a technique known as 123. I've used a technique known as 123 for encryption. So if hacker knows that I have used 123 as an encryption technique, he can use the same technique and decrypt my password. Understood? So this is not most secure. Encryption and decryption is not the more secure. That is why hashing come into the picture. Now let's understand what is Bcrypt or Bcrypt. Sorry, Bcrypt. So Bcrypt, the definition goes like this. It's a highly secure adaptable password hashing function created by two of the great people, and they have done a wonderful job on it. Why? Because there is two terminology I'm going to explain you, and that terminology is being used in Bcrypt for hashing, and nobody can ever decrypt that password. Okay, so that technique is known as salt. SALT, salt. Yes, they have named it in such a way, and that is salt to prevent computed attacks. For example, hacker don't sit and just think, okay, I can try this code, okay, this is wrong, I can try another code, okay, this is wrong. Code means nothing but password. So they are trying to crack your password in a manual way. This is not possible. They have a Kali Linux setup. Inside setup they have certain tools, and that tools within a second it try to decrypt your hashed password in many ways. And once they find out the proper algorithm, using that algorithm your password has been encrypted, they can decrypt it. That's what I was explaining. But using Bcrypt, using salt method inside Bcrypt, this is not possible. That it is not possible. It's brute force attempt. Brute force attempt means within a second they're guessing your password. This is not possible. They can't do it. Why they can't do it? Because let me show you the definition also. And let me open. Okay. Let's leave it here. Okay, this is the definition, and we will go one by one because in Bcrypt we have many things. Let me zoom in this, maximize this. I hope this is visible to your screen. So salting, it's automatically generates a random string of characters, which is known as a salt, and appends it to the password before hashing. For example, it will generate a random string. For example, this is a random string, and in between you have your password, and then again a random string. Okay, this is just an example, and then before hashing it, then it will hash it. This ensure that even if two users have identical password, for example, I have 1234566, you also have 1234566, and if I get your email, then I have 1234566 a password, and I can try and log in. So with the help of salting, this is not possible, because even if 123456 is our password, but the alphanumeric number which is being added, the strings of character, will be different, and also if that is different, the hashing of it will also be different, and we don't know how many letters will be, or how many characters will be there before 123456 and after it. We can't just we can't imagine it. Sometimes it can be 2, sometimes it can be 10, sometimes it can be 25 after your password. So we don't know it. So that's why it is not possible to guess others password. Either your password and my password is same, then too the resulting hash are completely different. Of course the hashing will completely different. Neutralizing rainbow table lookup attack. So there are multiple types of attack. The hacker knows n numbers type of attacks, and in real world there have been attacks to Google, attack to Microsoft and other companies also, and they name the attacks in different formats. So there is one rainbow table attack also, so this is not possible. Okay, I'm not going into the attack and explaining those because that is a topic of cyber security. When I will come to cyber security, I will be explaining you all type of attack. There is a phishing type of attack and much more different types of attacks are there. So I will be explaining at that time, and I will be jumping to the cyber security. But here we are learning the Bcrypt and why I have used it. So I think you understand the importance of the Bcrypt salting thing. Now, the second factor is this, and this is also most important factor, which is known as cost factor. So understand this: if a hacker try to decrypt your hashed password, so he need to guess n numbers of time, means he need to run a particular model, a particular decrypt algorithm with a particular time. For example, 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, and it requires not one system, it requires 1000, 10,000 system to run on single time to decrypt your password. Okay, so this is the cost factor comes into the picture for Bcrypt. What is cost factor? That is work factor. For developers can configure how many times the hashing loop will happen. If you have 10 hashing loop, so while time of decrypting, that hacker needs to do a 10 reverse looping. Okay, so a cost factor of 10 means nothing but the algorithm iterates 2 raised to 10. And how big that number is? 2 raised to 10. This is 1224 times hashing loop will go. Means your password has been hashed 1024 times. While a cost factor of 12 iterates means 2 raised to 12, which is nothing but 4096 times. This introduce computational delay that makes password cracking attempts vastly more expensive and difficult. This is important line: password cracking attempts. That's why what hackers do, they try to guess your password, not manually. They have system and tools to guess your password. So if you encrypt, means if you hashed your password this many times, so how many times, if he found the actual decryption algorithm which we have used for encryption, then only after running this many time they can guess your password. Okay, so this is very much important. Understood? Okay, okay, he is saying this, move on, I understood. Okay, but this is I'm explaining very deep because the people who will be seeing offline, they don't have chance to ask queries in live chat. Okay, so this is why Bcrypt is important. And now let's see one demo for Bcrypt. So this is bcrypt.online website. Let me put this in a live chat, and all the resource and everything I'm using and all the explanation I'm giving you, I will be creating one PDF file and sharing this in my Discord. So make sure you join my Discord to get all the resources and this link to use. Now let's create a Bcrypt hash. This is a Bcrypt hash generation. Plain text input. I will be giving my name and 1 2 3 4 5 6 as password. And the cost factor, let's have a 10 only, means 2 raised to 10. I've already explained you 1024 times. You can go as higher numbers, but I don't want to go that high. Okay, let's click on generate hash. See, this is the hashed password. Okay, let me copy this and let's scroll down. We can quickly verify is this hash belongs to us. So let me first type the wrong password in English, 654321, and let's hit verify hash and say the plain text does not match the supplied hash. This is my plain text, means my password, and this is the hash we generated it from above, and we are trying to match it. It's not matching because the plain text is something else, means my password is something else, and the hash is something else hashed. So let me pass my correct password, which is nothing but Nilesh 123456, and let's click now verify hash, and you can see the supply hash matches with the supplied plain text. Understood? This I've showed you for understanding, and this is for the learning purpose only. If you get anyone's hash, don't come here and don't try to do the guesswork, because it is not that easy. Okay, you do not know behind they are using Bcrypt or other algorithms. Okay, but Bcrypt is the most secure one. That's why I'm using it. Okay, and to do the guesswork also, if you got the hash, you need to have their password also to check it. Okay, so this is not possible. You can only have their hash if possible, but you will never get their password. Okay, so this was all about hashing. And in hashing, just remember, if you mention in interview Bcrypt, you need to explain the salt and the cost factor also. That's why I just spend much more time on that. Okay, now the second topic, and the second topic is also most important one, because with the help of that we are generating our bearer token. So yes, you have guessed it right. The next topic is JWT. So now what is JWT? Let me quickly close this. I've already shared the link in the live chat. Yes. So let me close this, and let's have here JWT. So you have already seen the full form of JWT. So JWT is nothing but the JSON Web Token. Let me quickly JSON Web Token. Oops, my bad, typo. Okay, so JSON Web Token, this is a full form of JWT, but in short we always address it as JWT. So now what is JWT and how this works? So let me explain you the flow first, and then we will be jumping into the discussion and everything of JWT. Okay, so first thing first, we logging into the system. Okay, let's take a real case scenario. You log in into the Gmail. How Gmail verify that it's you? Answer in the live chat. You provide your email ID and password. Yes, this was that easy. If you provide email ID and password and they are storing your email ID and password in the backend in a plain text, then your Gmail is not secured. Means it is easily hackable. So how they are storing your email ID and password? And how Gmail knows it's you only? Understood my question? How Gmail store your passwords and email ID? So we already seen, okay, by Bcrypt it can store the hash, but how the Gmail know it's you? So someone will say that, oh, we provide our email ID and password, that's why Gmail know it's us. It's not that simple. If it was that simple, what is the two-way authentication that we enable on Gmail? If you are aware of what is two-way authentication. Okay, so this is the not just Gmail, not just Microsoft, any of the website you use your user ID, you create your user and then you try to log in, they store like this. So it will generate, they will use this JWT token, they will provide you an bearer token, and they will handle this token and everything behind the scene. They won't and they never ask you to pass the bearer token. This is all about all handled with the help of backend engineers, with the help of API communication within APIs. Also one API can communicate with other APIs. Okay, so this all will be handled with the among the APIs. So in simple terms, you will just provide your user ID and password, then the JWT token means bearer token will be generated, and then that token will be passed to another API. It will verify that it's you, and then you will be logged in. Okay, this is how Gmail and other websites verify that it's you. So in our case, login, server verify the password, then server signs a token, which is nothing but in our case it's a bearer token, and then clients with us, but that we don't store it. It's all code and everything, so they do it on behalf of us, and we don't know, we just provide our ID and password. Then clients send it on every request. So client means our browser or Postman, like in authorization in Postman I was just sending my bearer token. So our browsers also store that bearer token which has a valid time. For example, in our case it's for 60 minutes. In some of the other case it may be 15 minutes, 10 minutes or few seconds. That's why you get automatically logged out once your token get expire, and then you need to re-log in again. Okay, so send it on every request. What we send the tokens, and then server verify that signature plus x when the signature expiry. For example, I've just told in our case it's 60 minutes. After 60 minutes, if that token expires, I will be logged out. So what server verifies? The signature. Signature is nothing but the token with your password and the expiry time of it. After that expiry, you won't be able to log in and you need to generate the new token. How you do it? You won't do anything. You just need to provide your email ID and password. Simple. Okay, so that's how the browser store the token. And in our case it's a Postman. It's just nothing but the different types of client. If you're using Swagger AI, I've already talked this about in the architecture. So here browser store that token, and on each and every request you are hitting each and everything you're downloading, you're doing anything on the Gmail, they will behind the scene pass that token, and server verifies that it's you who is doing everything. Understood? That's where the JWT token comes into the picture. Now let's now understand the definition of JWT token. So JWT stands for JSON Web Token, and it's an open standard RFC 7519. So let me get the definition here. Okay, so it simply says this. I've already written that it's an open standard RFC 7519. What is a 7519? I will be explaining you once this definition is done. So used to securely transmit information between parties as a digital signature, like you signed on your physical document, that this document belongs to you. It also in digital world we use JWT token, means that token with your password goes in the server, and same process, it verifies that's you. And JSON object, of course it is in JSON object, it's generated in JSON object, and it's most commonly used for user authentication and authorization. Of course, when we try to log in, it generate our bearer token, and with the help of that token, whatever we do on that website or our Gmail or our Microsoft account, with the help of that token, are we authorized to do it or not. And this is how in authentication and authorization, with the help of those, you can also limit the user that you can do this. It is free, and if you want to do this or do that, you need to convert your user ID into a paid user. Just convert your account into a paid user, then you will get access to do it. That's why what is authorization is all about in modern web and mobile application. Of course, this is the definition. So up till now, if you have any doubt, you can just clear it in the chat. Okay, now let's understand RFC 7519. And I've already talked about what is this. This is an open standard of JWT. It's used for the to make a URL safe. URL, the complete URL, www.google.com/gmail, or you are trying to log in into the Gmail, that URL. So this is used for that, and it mainly used to secure the transferring claim as in JSON object between two parties, two servers, two system, or two APIs. Okay, so now going further, three things are associated with this, and that three things are nothing but headers, payload, and signature. Okay, let me. Okay, headers. Specify metadata about the token such as signature, algorithm used. So I will be demonstrating this to you, so just bear with me. For example, HMAC, SHA-256 or RAS. So this is nothing but different types of algorithm. Signing algorithm means with the help of this algorithm we are generating your metadata. Your metadata means we are generating your, if you passed your name, your email ID, your phone number or whatsoever, we are converting that into with the help of this algorithm, we are converting those metadata into an encoded JSON body. I will show you this all. I will show you this all. Don't worry. Payload contains a claim, assertion about the user or application, means the data itself, your name, everything I've already talked about, encoded as a JSON object. And signature, encryption, ensure that data integrity and authenticity if signed and confidentially. Let's see the demo of this because I know the English definition is going above your head, or you are getting only 10 to 20% of it. Okay, let's jump onto the demo part, and then you will understand what all I was talking about. So let me remove everything. So this is the website jwt.io. Here you can try your JWT and everything. So this is the screen. It asks your web token, means your JWT token, encoded token, which is nothing but the bearer token we have generated. Here it says claims breakdown. Here it will decode it, the token which has the encoded message, encoded metadata I was talking about. It will decode it and shows. And here this is the secret which your application will have it. Means, let me quickly grab our token first. This is our token. Let me copy this, copy, and let's jump to here. Let's paste it. And once I paste it, it shows the algorithm is used to encode this data. Which data? This data. What is the data? It says the ID, the DB ID, MongoDB ID, and my email, and the role was admin, the expiry, and when it was created. And this metadata I was talking about was encrypted in this bearer token, and the technique used was HS256 and type was JWT. Understood? Now you will be asking me, if anyone can get my token, they will have my data, and then they can log in into the system with my ID and hack the system. It is not that easy. Yes, people can get hands to this bearer token. They will get this information that using this algo and the type is JWT and the data is the metadata is this, they will only get the email and the role. But unless until they have this JWT signature verification, they won't be able to access system or anything inside the system or application. Now, where is this JWT signature verification? This is not from a client side. This we don't provide. This is the application like Gmail, Microsoft, Netflix. They have their secure DB. Inside their secure DB or secure environment file, environment variable file, they have this type of signature verification inside it. So in my case, I also have mine. Let me quickly use that, and then see it says signature verification failed. Means once they have it, they won't be able to log in unless and until our application, our server verifies it. So to verify it, server has its own secret, and we have our own bearer token. This bearer token and this secret should match, and then only you are able to log in. This is how behind the scene it works. For you it's just email ID and password, but in reality this all are going behind the scene. Okay, so let me quickly just paste my secret, and then we will be, and my secret is very easy one. For your example, you can have See, it says a string secret at least 256-bit long, but I have created my own simple insecure dev string change me. Simple, you need to change this. I just have this, and see, once I provide this, because this is on my server side, this is not client side. For example, if I make this API and project live, you can use it, you can have your JWT token, but you can never use this JWT IO website and verify it. Only if and only if you have my secret, means you have server's JWT signature verification secret. So this is my secret. Once I pass it, say it's directly say valid secret, and now signature verify, means if the hacker got this, and of course hacker can get this from client side, so your system is compromised, your system has been hacked. This is what JWT is all about. So hacker will never get this, of course. So hacker will never get this. So it will say this is a valid JWT, but signature invalid, because server will never accept this unless and until hacker has the server secrets also. Okay. I hope up till now you understood what is Bcrypt, why it is used, how hashing is used in Bcrypt, what is JWT, and why we are using it for authentication and authorization. In our case, we have used for authentication. Up till now, if everything is clear, or else if it is getting on your head also, just rewatch this video. I will make this video offline, and once we jump into the coding and everything, there we will get more clear picture that how we can code in JWT and use Bcrypt. Okay. Let me wait for few seconds. If anyone has any doubt, you can ask in the live chat. Okay. Okay, now let's jump on to the next topic, which is nothing but RBAC, RBAC. So what is RBAC? And this is also very much important in real world application. As in backend developer, we should and we must know about what is RBAC is all about, or many says RBAC. Okay, so RBAC is nothing but it stands for role based access control. It stands for role based access control. So let me have that here. Why this is important in organization? It is important because role based is a security model that restricts system access based on user predefined role. For example, I have created an admin, then we have an HR, then we have an employees, and employees don't have access to create new employees or to delete new employees, but HR has that power to create new employees, to delete. No, HR doesn't have access to delete employees, but admin has that access to delete employees, to create new employees, to update employees. So that is what the role based access control is, and each and every MNCs have role based access control. And if you are seeking a backend developer role in any of the company, you should know about JWT, you should know about the Bcrypt, and also you should know about RBAC. The definition says rather than individual identities, permission are assigned to directly to the roles. For example, if I go with this guy should do this work, that guy should do that work, I need to create the permission and everything. For if I have 2000 employees, then I need to create the role and access to 2000 employees. So what organization do? They divide us into the employees: the senior, the junior, the lead, the manager, the director, the VP means vice president, president, CEO. So with the help of this roles, manager, developer, they provide permission rather than user. They don't provide permission to user, they provide permission to roles, and then they assign users with the role. For example, we have created Alice admin, and the role of Alice admin was admin, making it easier to manage and access right at scale. Understood? This was the importance of RBAC. Okay. Let me open this also. If you see, we have provided as an admin. The role of ls admin was admin. Now, for you all to understand everything, I've already created a README file, and I will be sharing this with you all. The project overview, all the roles and permission like admin, HR, employee, they can log in, but creating and create employee can't create new employees, but admin and HR can do. View an employee, admin and HR can view any employee profile, but employee can only view their own profile. Means as an employee, as a software engineer, you can view your profile, but won't be able to view others employee or other uh, software engineers profile. So view one profile for their own, means this is their own profile, they can view it. Less search of employee, admin and HR can do, but employee can't. Update employee, admin HR can update the data of any employee, but employee can't. Update profile image, admin and HR can do. So yes, in MNCs, in their portals, in Microsoft portals, if you are working for Microsoft or IBM or Google, you won't be able to directly upload your profile picture. It is through the admin or HR. And soft delete, so HR won't be able to delete any employee. Of course, employee can delete themselves or other employee, but admin can do it. Okay. So this is the complete folder structure. This all the files and folder we will be creating in next live, which is nothing but Friday 8 p.m. IST. We will be creating this all files, folder structures, and this is nothing but an architecture. And then we will be installing few things for this project, and okay, and running the MongoDB, or we will be. I will be running. I've already running it. Sorry. Okay, let me must click it. Ah, just open the file again. Okay, and all the other details of project architecture that I have already explained you. This all the details of how to create an employee as an HR or an admin. This I have already demonstrated you everything. We will be running MongoDB, running the APIs, of course, means starting a project, Swagger documentation API, and this I will be showing to you all. And API list that I've already created, that we have register, login, and all the other endpoints which is used with the description, which is used to, this API is used to create new employee, this API is used to create this. We can get a single employee with the help of the get API call and everything. You can just go through this proper documentation, and you will know what is what I have created, how to use it with a proper body, like we have passed the password and what will be the response we are getting. So this is nothing but we are creating an employee with the help of HR or admin user. Okay, so user or HR or admin, with the help of those user, how we know we are as an admin or HR, because we are passing their bearer token. In our example, in Postman, I've created ls admin and then generated a bearer token. With the help of that bearer token, means as an admin, I've created new employee, updated it, deleted it, and whatsoever operation I've shown you was the with the help of admin user. Okay, then I've already showed you the upload a profile image and soft delete. Now what is soft delete? So I've showed you the delete, but it's updated the status of a flag is active. Initially it was true, and after delete it was false, because all the companies do a soft delete. They never delete your data from their system. They just update a flag from true to false. They store your data up till infinity. Okay, and of course the project structure and everything, and the detailed explanation of schema, route and model, other things, and if you are getting any issue, how to troubleshoot also. Okay, this is a detailed level of documentation I will be sharing with you all. Okay, let me open my live chat. Thank you, sir, for sharing the link. You're welcome. Okay. Now, if you have any doubt regarding anything up till now, you can ask me right here, right away, and I will be waiting for few more seconds. Okay, if you are interested to see the code I've already done, so let me open that too quickly, because this all we are doing it live tomorrow. So these are the requirement.txt file. Then we have app, and then we have uploads. Here in app, you can see database, middleware, model, route, schema, utils. I've already explained this architecture to you all, and that architecture was nothing but the file and folder structure. Inside DB, we have MongoDB file. In middleware, we already seen error handling and logging. I've talked about models. We have employee model, user model. I've already talked about routers. I talked about auth.py and employees.py. This is the same architecture I've talked to you, and in the code you can see those file too. If it is visible to you all, let me zoom in a bit. I think now it is visible. So let me go again. See database, MongoDB, middleware, error handling, login, models, employee, user model, routes, auth, py, schema, employee schema, user schema, and utils. It's auth .py and other stuffs also. And let me quickly open this image. You can see routes, auth.py, employee, utils. These are the util model, user model, and user and employee collection. And middleware, you can see errors and request logging. So this is the same structure, same architecture I have followed in my code too. This is what you are seeing over here. Okay, schemas, employee schema. And so this in detail we will be doing the coding in every part. And today was the understanding this project, and hope you understand it very well. If not, just up till Friday before I come live at 8 p.m. IST, you just go through this video again and again and understand few stuffs and come with doubts. I love when learners or student come with doubts, because that makes me ensure that you are actually learning something from this live or from all my videos. If you get it in one go, of course you are very smart. If not, because if I at your place and I got a doubt, I will just immediately go to you and solve that. Hello sir, this is first video. I will watch your videos from first, so I'm going there. Okay, so bye, best of luck, and make sure you learn something and be a Python backend engineer. Because after completing this code, which is I will be doing it on Friday, I will be starting my new journey to make you market ready data analyst. This complete bootcamp was to make you what is Python, how Python things we are using here and there. For example, error handling, file handling, oops concept, everything, every resource. And if you are thinking that if I go through this all live, I will be a backend engineer, of course not. You want to stop at one place before I started the APIs and everything, you can stop it there. And if you want to be a data analyst, I will be starting soon the data analyst bootcamp, and you can jump on there. But mark my words, just learn how to create your APIs and everything. It will be helping you only, because as a data analyst, I am working with the data and everything. Now, how I can make that data live? How I can make that data available to everyone? With the help of APIs, because if you are dealing with webs and website, you need to know the backend. Okay, so just make sure you go through each and every video live, which I have already done, and you understand this, because in next video I will be creating all this file structure, touching each and every file, and we are doing the code. And what I have shown you and explained to you, we will be doing it live on Friday and bringing this project live. And of course, I've seen one query on the Discord. One of the guy was asking, will you be also showing us how to deploy this and everything? Yes, of course. For that, if there is a criteria to do it, and that criteria is, if I hit 5k subscriber, then of course I will be showing you how you can deploy your MongoDB database into the clouds, how you can deploy all this code I am going to give you. Of course, we will be doing it live, and I will be sharing this code to you all, how this project you can deploy it live, and then you can share your API with your API keys. If you want it to make it protected, if you want to keep it a public API, you can share this among your friend, your college teachers, and whomever you want to share. Or if you want to sell it, you can do that also. So that is most important, which is learning the APIs, then hosting the APIs. So if I hit 5k subscriber, why I am just keeping this 5k subscriber target is because I want to reach as many as learners as you are, because you are learning something out of it, and this is absolutely free. This all resources, the all PDF, everything, this project take me hours to build, and then you are learning it and you are improving yourself, and this is absolutely free. So make sure you help others also, like I am helping you. Do good and good will always return to you. That's what I believe in. So make sure, if you know someone is your junior or senior or want to come into the field of software engineering, just share my Python videos with them and make them learn Python. And of course, doing this good will return to you one day. So that's why I'm keeping a target. If I hit a 5k subscriber, I will be showing you how we can deploy all this codes and everything without any error, without breaking the code, live. And of course, I will be in that live also, I will be demonstrating how to keep the versioning of the APIs. Here we are creating v1, that's why I have a v1. But if I add something new to my APIs like v2, how we can deploy it on the same deployment server. Okay, I know all this because I'm working as a full stack cloud engineer from last 10 years, and from last 3 years I'm working as an AI full stack engineer. So up till AI, I know how industry works, how we do feature engineering, how we solve error, what we do in customer call, how we handle customer errors live. For example, I want to share one instance. There was a one customer, I can't name it due to the confidentiality. So it was 3 a.m. night in India, 3 a.m. IST, and for them it was afternoon, and the customer was very angry. It was he was in very bad mood, and something went very bad for them, and they had business loss. Means business loss means nothing but a money loss for them. So it was issue from our product, the company I work for, and then we need to go through the logs, and we fix the error right there, right away, within I think 45 minutes. I and my colleague was there, and he and me sit there and fix that issue within 45 minutes being on the customer call. So you also need to learn this all, and I don't think any YouTube channel is sharing this type of stuff with you all, that in real world, in industry, what you are doing, how you need to get to the industry first. Once you got into the industry, what needs to be done, how you need to deal with customer issues or customer call. Okay, so being an engineer, of course you need to go to the customer call. Okay, so this was all about this live, explaining this project and all the concept I'm using, because in my next live, which is Friday 8 p.m. IST, I won't be explaining all the topics again. I will be just explaining word to word, code to code. For example, let me open MongoDB PY. This is my code. So I will be explaining what is logging and what is MongoDB client. What is this function I've created, connect to MongoDB. This all I will be explaining. Employee collection, create index, what is index and everything, but I won't be explaining you that why I've what is, I will be explaining you why I've imported logging, but the concept of logging is explained in this live. So make sure you go through this live again and again up till Friday, because the Friday is the most important live, and we are completing a real world project as a backend engineer in Python. Okay. If there any doubt, you can ask it in the live. I will be waiting for a few seconds and then we are winding off. And make sure on Friday 8 p.m. IST you come uh, with a high dose of caffeine. For example, have a cup of tea or have a cup of coffee, because the code base for this all is big. It's not that simple, it's big. It's big and we need much more time. If you see, I've just opened employees.py, which is nothing but our routes. You can see one file content 333 lines of code. Okay. So this will take time for me to code it live in front of you and then explain it, or else we will do we will have some middle way. We need to remove the middle way, because all this, it took me more than 12 hours to create this project, and then tested. There was multiple error, I fixed those error, then I am demonstrating this to you. So it took my lot of time and efforts to build this project, and of course thinking also. That was the most important thing. And this is a sellable project. I'm explaining it to you and giving it to you completely free. Okay, so make sure you join the Discord. If there is any issue, you can ask me there. Okay, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to make you market ready software engineer. So code with precision, ship with vision. Subscribe now and join the mission. Till then, see you in the next live, which is nothing but on Friday 8 p.m. IST. Okay, see you on Friday 8 p.m. IST. Take care. God bless you. Bye.